We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
I'm former Major League pitcher Andy Pettitte. I teamed up with Tunnel to Towers after seeing their life-changing work with military and first responder families. Now we're expanding our mission to help veterans struggling with homelessness. We want to help them rebuild their lives not only by giving them a home, but by providing the services they need. Please join me in donating at t2t.org.
My name is Wally Joyner. I was a first baseman for the Angels, Padres, Royals, and Braves. I give the Tunnel to Towers because of what they provide for the veterans, the military, the first responders, the police, the firemen who go out and put their lives in danger for our freedoms. I think it's an incredible charity, an incredible foundation. Their goals of helping the families that protect us. I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The foundation is committed to delivering mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responder families with young children. Never forget.
The Grade 1 Go Man Go Handicap was an instant classic last year.
Oops Dynasty has beaten Imprison by a neck.
And now we're ready for another spectacular race as the Go Man Go is set for this Sunday night. And with so many superstars possibly running this year,
He has beaten Imprison by a neck in the Go Man Go.
it promises to be another instant classic. Join us for the Go Man Go on Sunday. It should be another contender for Quarter Horse Race of the Year. The best of quarter horse racing, always at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Friday as we ramp up the Travers weekend here, Las Vegas style. Coming to you live and direct from your gaming capital right here at the South Point Studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard, your gaming capital. We welcome you to the show. Want to remind everybody that if you haven't tried YouTube, this morning is the morning to try it. For those of you listening on the radio, for those of you listening on our websites, for those of you listening on podcasting or your phone apps. Today, you want to make sure you get to YouTube. Go to YouTube. In the search bar, hit South Point Studios. When you get to the page, you click on Race Day Las Vegas because, and by the way, subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, do it. Subscribe. It's free. Then you can start chatting away with our chatters. And they're already active on the chat screen. So we'll try to get as much as we can in with them once in a while. But, we get sometimes jam-packed show. So in any case, you chat away on there. You can talk the good, bad, ugly about us and all that other good stuff. And but for today, you got to go to YouTube. You got to get on the YouTube streaming site or streaming network there, because following today's show at the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to come back immediately after maybe a commercial or two. We're going to come back with the South Point Studios special here, the Race Day Las Vegas Travers Day special. But it's happening today. In addition, an extra Travers Day extra special for Race Day. It'll happen right after our this show completes on YouTube streaming only. It won't be simulcast anywhere else. On the other platforms will not have it. It'll only be on the YouTube South Point Studios streaming network. And, of course, it'll feature our sportsbook director here, Chris Andrews, who is a racing fan. Vinny Miliulo will also come back and join us. And, of course, we'll have John Lendo with his Lendo Report here at the South Point as well, covering the Travers Stakes, maybe talking about a memory or two, and maybe even looking at some of the other stakes races on Travers Day. It all happens right after this show, right here where we're at the South Point Studios on the YouTube feed only, okay? And so we welcome all of you on YouTube. We also welcome all of the other platforms that we have that are listening to this show. That includes our local radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM, our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, iPhone or Android with the apps. The KSHP app will get you listening to us on the radio, and the YouTube app, of course, will get you listening and watching us on your YouTube app, on your iPhone or Android, and anywhere you get else. You're podcasting as well. So we welcome everybody to the show. However you get us, we welcome you to the show. All right, we're ramping it up for Travers Day, which is tomorrow. Big day of racing tomorrow. They're going to start early with an early post time because they got 14 races. And as far as the weather is concerned, the Weather Channel tells us that, for example, today, right now at Saratoga, the weather is 78. There'll be 78 degrees today at Saratoga. And you got plenty of sunshine, high 78, winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Overnight lows will be 54 degrees. Going into tomorrow, it'll start off in the morning around 57. And throughout the day tomorrow, they say, the weatherman does, it's going to top off at 81 degrees at Saratoga. And it says mostly sunny. So that means the track's going to be fast and the turf is going to be firm. Let's cross our fingers and hope the weatherman is as good a handicapper as right now our handicappers are on the show. All right? And so that's the way it's going to be at the Travers. Here in Las Vegas right now, it's 80 degrees outside. Beautiful morning, 80 degrees. We're going to get up to 102 today. But listen, over the weekend, we're not going to reach 100. We're going to get in the high 90s for Saturday and Sunday. And, of course, that only matters on your trip on over here to the South Point because in the book, it's always fast, firm, and perfect. And we're ready to get and go with the racing. We start out the big stakes racing weekend this weekend today because today, Charlestown Races has 6 stakes races that total almost $3 million, $2.9 million in stakes races tonight at Charlestown. They got an early post time, by the way, too, so keep that in mind when we do the menu. But Charlestown will feature, of course, 6 stakes races highlighted by the $750,000 Oaks and the $1 million Charlestown Classic. Okay, that's happening at Charlestown. Today at Saratoga, setting the table for tomorrow, a couple of stakes races there, including the Grade 1 Personal Ensign, where we got a nice little throwdown going in that brief field in the Personal Ensign. So we got a lot of great stuff happening, and it starts right now going through the weekend for sure. Okay, let's take a look at what happened at Saratoga yesterday, kind of warming up the act for today. Saratoga yesterday, Linda Rice got a winner in the first race, the favorite at $4 even. Chad Brown checks in the Bolliston Spa, a turf stakes race in New York, you know Chad Brown's going to be loaded. He was. He wins with Boat Cachet. Wins the race. For Frankie Dettori aboard Chad Brown's winner there, paid $7.10, outrunning Gina Romantica and De Halvey, who finished third. And then in the third race, Christophe Clement got a win with a favorite there at $5.60. And then we go down to the seventh race. The seventh race, the controversial race of the day. A horse called Camera, okay? And Camera and Headline Numbers, the big favorite in the race, were going battling head-to-head, eye-to-eye, nose-to-nose throughout the entire stretch. And behind them, Who Could Ask for Mo was behind them looking for a place to go. Mo tried to go to the inside, had to check, went outside of the other two battling, and at the wire, Camera outdueled and won, he finished first in the race, beating Headline Numbers. And Who Could Ask for Mo finished third. There was an inquiry, there was an objection, there was a long look at the videotapes, and they disqualified Camera at 9-1 with Frankie Dettori aboard, placed him third for interference with Who Could Ask for Mo, who finished third. So the order of finish then becomes number 7, Headline Numbers, a Chad Brown trainee, Flavien Prat aboard at 3:20. Placed second, Who Could Ask for Mo. Placed third, Camera. And there went that race. Very controversial because a lot of people who were watching the head-on and all the Stewart views that they had on the simulcast feed and at the racetrack thought there shouldn't have been a disqualification. So you had a lot of people going back and forth about that. All right. Then David Jacobson gets a winner yesterday. His horse won the 8th race, beating the 3-4 favorite. Well, actually, the 3-4 favorite. The horse at 3-4 got scratched just about post time. Okay? That 3-4 favorite got scratched. So all the money went to Disco Ball, who went wire to wire and won the race, paying $5.50 for David Jacobson. So big favorite got scratched at the end, at the starting gate, really. And in the 9th race, Ricardo Santana got his second win of the day, paying $6.30. Dylan Davis matched that with his second win of the day in the 10th and final race, paying $7.70. The pick six yesterday at Saratoga, $934.50. That's all it paid. I don't think there wasn't a horse throughout the day that paid a $10 mutual or more. Highest priced winner, I do believe, was $9.50 yesterday at Saratoga. All right, Del Mar. The Jerry Jackowitz, for the third day in a row, hits with his picks. He hit the exacta, he hit the trifecta, he hit the superfecta if you take his pick and link it up with the links that he gives you. Second race, his horse Tiger Horn wins. Mark Glatt training. Umberto Rispoli riding, pays $6.20. And his link up ran second. That dollar exacta paid $25.30. Another link up ran third. The 50-cent trifecta paid $50.05. And the other link up ran fourth. And the 10-cent super paid $40.46. So congratulations to Jerry. He's on a roll. Jerry's on a roll. 3 in a row on the show so far. Third race, Bob Baffert ran first and second in a maiden race. What else is new? Canada Gate with Juan Hernandez paid $3.60. Rich Eng came with the winner of the fourth race. Silvestri, Edwin Maldonado aboard, going wire to wire, and that horse paid $4.20. And then we went to the sixth race where John Lendo's selection won that race. John Lendo's selection was Davine Provo. Davine Provo, a ship and winner, but was trained by Phil D'Amato. And Antonio Fresu aboard paid $6.60. And then the last race winner, Jack Kurelek, Antonio Fresu aboard, a turf race trained by Phil D'Amato. So Antonio Fresu and Phil D'Amato won 2 races together, 2 turf races together in the 6th and 8th races yesterday at Del Mar. George Papadromo continues to go hot. His winner, he came with a winner in the 7th race, paid $10 even. All in all, the pick 6 paid $1,072.80. John Lendo suggested late pick 4 on his sheet, won again yesterday at Del Mar. It was an $18 layout. That pick 4 on the sheet paid $158.85. And just in case you're interested, what's going on with that 3 trifectas, the 3x3 bet? Well, nobody had it. So the consolation paid $1.40, $1.05, and $1.05 again. And so it goes at Del Mar. All righty. As far as what our show is containing today, we've got Jonathan Ardoon standing by. Jonathan is going to go over those races at Charlestown. So we got those stakes races coming up. We're going to take a look at them at Charlestown. That happens tonight. We also have Rich Eng, Jerry Jackowicz is back with us, and, of course, John Lendo from Southern California. We still got your racing menu to go. So what are we doing? Let's go. Get that first break out of the way, and then we'll be right back. So don't go away on this Friday Race Day show.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas, one quick news note. Pretty Mischievous, who was the 2023 Kentucky Oaks winner and Eclipse Award champion of her division, has been retired. Yes, Pretty Mischievous, of course, won the Kentucky Oaks in 2023, and she was trained throughout her career by Brendan Walsh. She retires with a racing record of 13 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, and earnings of $2,112,560. So Pretty Mischievous now on to the breeding shed. All righty. Taking a look at the weather across the country. Temperatures, New York City, 83 degrees. Miami, 89. Chicago, 84. We got Southern California, Los Angeles and San Diego area, 82. High spot of the day, again, is Phoenix, Arizona. They'll be 107 degrees today. And, of course, as you know, here in Las Vegas, we're just going to push a little bit through the 100 degrees. Going to have 102 here in Las Vegas. As far as the precipitation and all that other good stuff is concerned, not a problem. It looks pretty good around the country for as far as the racetracks are concerned. So without any further ado, we'll get to the racing menu for today. Of course, the racing menu, as you know, first post times we broadcast on this racing menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're here in Las Vegas watching and listening, these will be the first post times roll out in our race books right behind us here at the studio. And of course, if you're in the Pacific time zone, not a problem either. These will be your Pacific time zone first post times. However, anybody else listening on all the other time zones around the world, as we have our platforms that deliver every corner of the world, and you are in another time zone, adjust to the Pacific time zone from the one you're in so you don't miss anything. Don't want you to miss anything like I'm his mom and dad, okay? Here we go. Here's the menu for today. We begin with Valterra Park. Valterra Park has 8 races today with the first post time of 9:35 at Valterra today. And then our next one will be Saratoga, New York. And as you know, as we said, it's going to be great weather there at Saratoga. And we'll check out the weather there. Sunny, 59 degrees right now. Track is fast. Turf courses are firm. So you got fast and firm conditions. The Mellon Turf Course will host races 5, 8, and 11. The Inner Turf Course races 3, 7, and 12. No carryovers to speak of today at Saratoga. And a first post time of 9:35. 12 races, and of course, a couple of stakes races. The 5th race is the $150,000 Smart and Fancy. That's at 5.5 furlongs on the Mellon Turf Course for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. We don't have the scratches yet, so we have 8 in that race before scratches. 6-5 favorite is Roses for Deborah with the Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard. And then the big race of the day, the $500,000 Grade 1 Personal Ensign. This is at 1 1/8 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. It's only a 5 filly mare field, but I can tell you this. It all comes down to the chess game between Idiomatic and Randomized. Idiomatic on the morning line is 6-5 with Florent Garreau. Randomized is 8-5 with Joel Rosario. And in case you're looking for an upset, maybe Flavian Pratt aboard the 9-2 third choice. Raging Sea may take a look as well. But I got news for you. Jonathan Ardoon has another take on this race, and we'll get that from him when he comes on board. 12 races today at Saratoga. First post time is at 9:35 on the day before the Travers. Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park has a Pick 6 Rainbow Jackpot carryover of $15,655. 9 races. First post time 9:55. Woodbine has a big day of racing today. All those races that were canceled last Saturday, if you remember, including the King's Plate, rescheduled for today. So you got a big racing day today at Charlestown, Saratoga, and north of the border at Woodbine. You got 12 races at Woodbine today. 5 stakes races are coming back. They are the Soaring Free Stakes. That'll be the 5th race on the card for 2-year-olds on the turf at 6.5 furlongs. 2-1 favorite there is Mensa. Then you got the King Edwards, a $200,000 Grade 2 at 1 mile on the turf for 3-year-olds and up, 7th race. 4-5 favorite there is Filo de Arellana with Kendrick Carmouche. I'm sorry, not Kendrick Carmouche, Mr. Kimura, Kazuchi Kimura. Well, the K's are there. Kazuchi Kimura goes back from Del Mar back up to Woodbine today for those stakes races. He rides that 4-5 favorite, Filo de Arellana, in the King Edward. Then the 8th race will be the Grade 3 Bold Venture, 6.5 furlongs, 3-year-olds and up, a field of 7. 7-5 favorite there is Patches O'Houlihan. And then the 9th race will be the $1 million King's Plate, 1.25 miles for 3-year-olds. These are for Canadian breds. And, of course, Mark Casse has this thing surrounded. He has the 2-1, 7-5 favorite, My Boy Prince. He has also the second choice on the morning line at 2-1, Essex Serpent. And he's got a nice 10-1 on the morning line in Midnight Mascot that gets Kimura aboard. There's a field of 13 in the King's Plate, and Mark Casse's got it surrounded. And then the 10th race will be the Catch a Glimpse Stakes, 6.5 furlongs on the turf for 2-year-old fillies, 13 before scratches. Favorite there at 2-1 is Bullet, and that'll be the field of 12 races today at Woodbine, 5 stakes races. First post time is at 10:05. 10:05 at Woodbine. Their carryovers, Super High 5 Jackpot carryover, $27,213. $27,213 in the Super High 5 carryover at Woodbine. Okay, by the way, Belterra Park, I didn't mention this, they got a Super High 5 carryover of $41,778. Pretty good for Belterra. All right, we move on. Monmouth Park from the shores of New Jersey, 8 races. First post time at Monmouth is at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. at Monmouth Park today. And then following that comes Colonial Downs. You got 9 races at Colonial Downs, 2 dirt races, 7 turf races. Post time is at 1:30, 1:30 at Colonial Downs. Following that, we have Charlestown. Now, Charlestown has an early post time today of 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Pacific time for Charlestown. 13 races. The Land of Enchantment will be the 5th. The Frank Gall Memorial will be the 6th. The Sadie Hawkins will be the 7th. The Misty Bennett Pink Ribbon Stakes will be the 8th. By the way, in that 8th race, Spirit Win is even money with Mike Smith aboard. He goes back east to ride for Safi Joseph Jr. in that race. All right, the $500,000 Robert Hill Memorial is the 9th race on the card. The favorite there at 7-5 is Bookham Dano at 7-5 with Jose Ortiz. We'll wait and see. Bookham Dano is cross-entered both there and at Saratoga. We believe that he's going to be at Saratoga. He's already going to be scratched at the Hilton Memorial. So, with him being out of the race at 7-5, the next favorite on the board at 4-1 will be Tapalo with Joel Rosario. You can see all of the big jockeys are showing up at Charlestown today for their big races. Why? Big money. $750,000 Grade 2 Charlestown Oaks is the 10th on the card. 7 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies. A field of 11 there. And in that race, the favorite, believe it or not, at 3-1 is My Main Squeeze with Luis Saez aboard. Mike Smith will ride another Saffie Joseph Jr. runner in Mystic Lake in that race. And then the 11th race is the $1 million Grade 2 Charlestown Classic at 1.125 for 3-year-olds and up. A field of 10 there. Skippy Long stocking is even money, the favorite on the morning line with Jose Ortiz. But riding in that race will be Irad. Luis Saez has a mount, Ramon Vasquez, and Julien Leperoux as well. So when the big bucks come up, the big jocks show up. That's the 11th race today at Charlestown. You got 13 races there and a first post time at 2 p.m. You also have a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $27,268. Penn National has 8 races. Penn National first post time with a Super High 5 jackpot carryover of $18,944 is set at $245. Del Mar, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is the post time at Del Mar for their 8-race card. And by the way, Del Mar does have a carryover. Del Mar's carryover there, the 3x3 bet, you know, that 3 trifectas. Well, it's up to $2,307 now. Del Mar has 8 races today. First post time is at 3 p.m. Northern California Fair is now at Ferndale. They have 6 races, 1 quarter horse, 5 thoroughbreds. First post time is 3:15 at Ferndale. Evangeline Downs has 10 races. Their first post time is 3:30. Prairie Meadows kicks in with 10 races. The first 3 races will be quarter horses, and the last 7 will be thoroughbreds. There is a thoroughbred stakes race on the card, the $100,000 Prairie Meadow Debutante for 2-year-old fillies. That'll be the 9th race on the card. Long Neck Paula is the 9-5 favorite in that one. First post time at Prairie Meadows with a Super High 5 jackpot carryover of $4,828 is set at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock at Prairie Meadows. Remington Park has 9 races. Their first post time is 4:30. Emerald Downs will kick in with 7 races at 7 p.m. And that is your Friday menu. Wow, that's a good. But I got to tell you, a lot of good stakes races. It looks like a Saturday. Jonathan Ardoon, good morning.
Ralph, how are you?
Well, I'm doing fine, my man. There's a lot of stakes races out there today, man.
Yeah, it's like the precursor till tomorrow. They're getting you warmed up, and it starts in the day, and it doesn't end till tonight because Charlestown will be running at night. So, not where you guys are, but it's still.
You know, I got to tell you, Charlestown's going to start before Del Mar is today.
That's amazing.
Yeah. In any case, yes, you're right. You say it's a prelude to tomorrow, but today they got 2 races that are worth $1 million. The King's Plate and the Charlestown Classic, another $750,000 race. They set the table, though, for the Travers worth $1,250,000 tomorrow. So inflation has hit racing, too.
And the good news is, Ralph, the weather is going to be beautiful. There's no rain in sight. Today is absolutely gorgeous. It's in the 60s. It's going up, but it's really perfect racing weather.
Okay, let's get started because we've got a lot of races to go through. We're going to go to Charlestown. I know we're going to talk about the Charlestown Oaks and the Charlestown Classic, but if there's any other stakes race on the card that piques your interest with a nice horse, fess up.
No, I'm good. Whatever you want to talk about, just give me the race number and I'm ready to go. I did all those races for the show, so let's do it.
Like I said, if you did all the races, if you have a horse in a race that looks like a live long shot, we'll take it. Otherwise, we'll get to the Oaks and the Charlestown Classic.
Okay, let's get to the Oaks and the Charlestown Classic.
All right, enough said there. The 10th race is the Charlestown Oaks, 7 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies.
Time out, Ralph. I like a horse in the 9th race. I just noticed it. The 7 horse, who's 12-1 on the morning line, wants and needs. 3-year-old colt from the Randy Morse barn, 3 career starts, and he's won 2 of them. He goes back on Lasix today, and this horse is improving, getting better with each start. Only because he's 12-1, he's worth a play at the price.
See, folks, I embarrass him. I get him thinking about, I got to give another horse out. So here we go. 9th race, the 7 wants and needs, 12-1. You better believe it. That's a good price. We'll take it. It's at the 9th race, the 7 wants and needs. Now we get to the Charlestown Oaks, 3-year-old fillies, 7 furlong, $750,000, 11 before scratches. Hey, Mike Smith shows up there on Saffie, Mystic Lake at 6-1, but the favorite in the race, and it's a pretty wide open event, is a My Main Squeeze with Luis Saez at 3-1. How do you see it?
Yeah, by the way, a horse that you always like named Impel, a 3-year-old filly
Yeah.
from the Brad Cox barn, will be scratching. She's going to run tomorrow at Park. So I got that information, so I'm passing it along.
All right.
I like the number 2 horse in here, Ralph. Princess Madison, a 3-year-old filly from the Phil Bauer barn. Jose Ortiz aboard to ride. Remember, this is a bull ring. It's kind of similar to Fairplex. You remember the old
Yeah.
Fairplex track?
I
They go
certainly-
round and
yeah.
round and round.
Mhm.
Well, that's what they do here. And being drawn inside is certainly a big plus. And Jose Ortiz takes over tonight. I like number 2, Princess Madison, 5-1 on the morning line in tonight's 10th race.
All right, the Charlestown Oaks. By the way, they will go around 2 turns in the 7-furlong race, as Jonathan alluded to. It's a bull ring. So in this race, and an inside post for this one, number 2, Princess Madison at 5-1, Jose Ortiz. Now we get to the main event, the $1 million Charlestown Classic. Can they beat Skippy Longstockings?
Well, I like 2 price horses against him. Certainly, he won here last year, so we know he can handle the track. But 2 horses in this race that I'm interested in. Number 2, Warrior Johnny. Draw a line through his last race at Saratoga. The track was wet that day. He just could not handle it. He's listed at 12-1 on the morning line. And there's a real interesting horse in this race, Ralph. Number 6, Coastal Mission. Have you ever seen a horse for courses? Well, this is one of them. Coastal Mission, 11 starts at Charlestown, 10 wins and a second. You think he likes the track?
Ooh.
I do. He's listed at 6-1. Those are the 2 horses I would take a shot at trying to beat Skippy Longstockings with.
Okay, so Skippy Longstocking, of course, won this race last year. You know, he likes the track, and he's the big even money favorite. But we're looking to make chicken feathers out of chicken soup, so we're going to take the 2 Warrior Johnny at 12-1, as Jonathan alluded to, and the 6 Coastal Mission at 6-1 because he loves to run in his backyard there. And so maybe we can box the 3 and see what happens. Maybe one of those 2 can beat Skippy Longstocking in the $1 million Charlestown Classic today at Charlestown. All right, now let's get to the other racetracks. Of course, Saratoga and Del Mar for your picks. I understand that you have a new philosophy in your picks now. Will you explain that?
Yeah, Ralph, when I give out 2 horses and neither one of them hit the board, I reward the listeners with a bonus play on the next day.
So we're getting 3 plays today?
That's what you're getting because you're going to have to keep me in line. No slacking off, not with the terrific handicappers you have. I don't like when I get shut out, and we've been doing well, so let's see if we could get back on the beam
All
today.
right, so let's get going. Do it.
First of our 3 radio plays comes in Saratoga's 4th race today, a mile on the main track. And I love the number 2 horse in here, Big Blue Line. 5-year-old gelding, claimed last time out by trainer William Walden. And this train is having a terrific meet. I love the rider switch to Flavian Pratt, 9-2 on the morning line. Number 2, Big Blue Line, wins today's 4th race out at Saratoga.
All right, 4th race, the 2 Big Blue Line, and the bonus.
We're going to look at the 10th race, only a 5-horse field, and obviously everybody's concentrating on idiomatic and randomized. However, not so fast, my friends. The number 1 horse in here, Zagara, 4-year-old filly, again from the Phil Bauer barn. This trainer is 5-for-11, Ralph, at Saratoga. I love the rider switch to Tyler Gaffleone. I love the 10-1 on the morning line in a short field. She gets 6 pounds in weight from both the 4 and the 5. Number 1, Zigara, or I don't know how to pronounce it, Zagara, I think has a heck of a shot of upsetting at a price.
All right, it is the personal instant stakes and the expected throwdown between idiomatic and randomized might be upset by the horse that has 16 pronunciations. So we're just going to call him a winner. The one, I'll call it Zagara. The 1 horse at 10-1 on the morning line in that short field. So, talking about chicken feathers to chicken soup. All right, that's at Saratoga. We'll get your Del Mar selection, and we'll let you get started on all those handicapping races for tomorrow.
First race today at Del Mar. It's 6 furlongs on the main track, and I like the number 4 horse in here, Midnight Love. The 3-year-old colt who was claimed out of his last start by trainer Craig DeLassy. Armando Ayuso aboard to ride. 9 to 2 on the morning line. Craig DeLossi having a terrific meet, Ralph. 5 for 12. This horse cuts back in distance, and I think he's going to run huge in here. I like number 4, Midnight Love, to upset and win today's opener out at Del Mar.
Opener at Del Mar is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock this afternoon Pacific time. The 4 Midnight Love could be a single in the early pick 5. The 4 Midnight Love, Jonathan Arduin's pick in the first race at Del Mar. And he has full sheets for both Del Mar and Saratoga right now at your website. Before I let you go there, Jonathan, we have our handicappers that are on the chat. They're going away big here. They're chatting a lot for us, that's for sure. And it seems that one particular chat person has put his selection in big, bold, capital letters. So I'm going to give it out to you. I'm going to give it out. He said he likes a price in the 11th race at the Saratoga and gets the red hot Dylan Davis aboard. Now, if you look at the 11th race, Dylan Davis is scheduled to ride number 7, My Bronx Baby, at 8 to 1. So we'll see how our handicappers do on the chat as well.
Yeah, that horse is trying turf for the first time. Certainly bred to handle it. The price is right. The rider's been on fire. Why not?
All right, you got it, Jonathan. Again, your picks for Saratoga and Del Mar at your website. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Get back to work.
All right, Ralph. We got a lot of races to do tomorrow at Saratoga, so we'll talk in the morning. Stay safe and be.
You got it, my man. All right, we got to take a quick break. Rich Yang is standing by. Don't go away.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going, every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
Hello, I'm Dennis Quaid. For years, Tunnel to Towers has demonstrated a commitment to first responders and military families. They've paid off mortgages and built specially adapted smart homes. Now the foundation is expanding its mission to eradicate veteran homelessness. Please give our veterans a chance to reclaim their dignity by donating at t2t.org.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday. Now we go out to Rich Yang standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Boy, I got to tell you, a lot of great stakes races today and tomorrow as well. It's going to be fun for the next 2 days betting horses. And, of course, your sheet for Del Mar available right now at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. And the handicappers are doing well on the show. Both John Lindo, Jerry J., and yourself had winners yesterday for us at Del Mar. And so, I don't know, what are we doing today?
Well, thing about horse players, not only, in quote, us experts, but, just the handicappers out there on the chat line, you can get hot when you get on a run. It's a beautiful thing. It's like a baseball hitter being able to see the ball coming in, whether it's fastball, curveball. When you're hot, you're hot. So good luck to everybody this weekend.
And, it's unlike sports where you can, sports when you're laying 110 to win 100 or $10, $11 to win 10, you have to win at a higher rate. In horse racing, you can go days without hitting. And then when you make a hit, it scores out and you get, you make money. You actually get all your money back. So that's the dimension, that great dimension about horse racing.
No, absolutely, Ralph. For example, if you have John Lindo's late pick 4 at Del Mar, you can make the profit for the whole day, even if that's the only bet you cash.
That's right.
That's the way it works.
All right, give us a parlay. Give us a parlay, winner to winner.
Yeah, I teased the other day about a horse I loved in the Charlestown Classic.
Yeah.
It was not one of the 3 horses that were mentioned by Jonathan. So here's a 4th horse to mention, but I really love the number 5 horse, Bendug. 7-2 in the morning line from Bill Mott. Part of my reasoning, Ralph, is if you get a chance to watch the replay of the Suburban Handicap at Saratoga last time out, this horse was ridden so confidently by Jose Lezcano. He had this horse in the 4-path, both turns, and this horse was going a long distance. This horse got tired the last 50, 100 yards and got passed by Krupe, but little overconfident. But this is a very talented horse, 7-2. Bill Mott going to Charlestown. You don't see that often. So I'm going to go with the number 5, Bendug, in race 11.
And he certainly didn't blame Jose Lezcano, because Lezcano is back on that horse for the $1 Million Charlestown Classic. 11th race at Charlestown. Richie likes the 5, Bendug. So right now we've got a box there with all our 3 handicappers, the 2, 5, 6 in that 11th race. Richie is the 5. Now we'll get a parlay, winner to winner at Del Mar.
Let's go to race number 3. It's kind of an ugly-looking maiden claiming 20, kind of the bottom of the barrel route, but a horse with an angle that I like a lot is the cut back in distance. That's the number 6 horse, I'm Still In It. This horse went a mile last time and kind of flattened out in the rally late. But, a lot of times when you cut back from 2 turns to 1 turn, this an elongated sprint, you will finish a lot better. And that's what I'm banking on with number 6, I'm Still In It, in the 3rd at Del Mar.
All right, 3rd race at Del Mar, number 6, I'm Still In It. We hope he is. In the 3rd race, the 6th, Rich Eng's play at Del Mar, and, of course, his Charlestown pick as well. And don't forget, he's got the full Del Mar sheet right now at his website, at our website, racedaylasvegas.com websites. Richie Eng's picks are there. Hey, thanks a lot, Rich. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Travers Day.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we wind up this first part of an extended race day show with John Lindo and Jerry J. Again, remember, if you want to watch the Travers Extra show with Chris Andrews, Vinny Miliolo, and John Lindo that follows this show at the top of the hour, you got to go to YouTube. You got to go to South Point Studio. You got to punch it in. And by the way, subscribe if you haven't already. It's the only place we're going to have the extra show on the YouTube streaming, the South Point Studios. We'll be right back.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rockin' dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby.
The Grade 1 Go Man Go Handicap was an instant classic last year.
Oops Dynasty has beaten Impressum by a neck.
And now we're ready for another spectacular race, as the Go Man Go is set for this Sunday night. And with so many superstars possibly running this year,
He has beaten Impressum by a neck in the Go Man Go.
it promises to be another instant classic. Join us for the Go Man Go on Sunday. It should be another contender for Quarter Horse Race of the Year. The best of quarter horse racing, always at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Okay, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Before we get out to John Lindo, there's a lot of activity going on our chat room today here at the Race Day Show. I'll give you another pick that one of our chat people have. It comes at Woodbine. So we'll go to Woodbine now. The big day of racing there at Woodbine, with the cancellation Saturday. They come back with all those stakes races today. But Woodbine, one of our handicappers on the chat in the 7th race, likes the 2 Ironstone at 12-1. Hey, nice pick. Let's get that one home. 7th race of Woodbine, the 2 horse. Okay, now let's go out to John Lindo standing by in Southern California. John, a lot of activity, a lot of racing today and tomorrow, buddy.
Action's pretty intense today, Ralph. I mean, big, long cards, good races, graded stakes races, and it's a Friday.
Did you take a look at any of the races maybe at, well, I don't know about Woodbine, but I think you might have taken a glance at Charlestown?
No, I did not. I've been busy with a few other things going on out here, but I will. I have my racing form on my desk, and while I'm working today, pounding out the Sunday card at Del Mar, I'll be involved with those other races today.
Well, 2 jockeys that have been racing in Southern California. Kazuchi Kimura goes back to Canada to ride one of the favorites for Mark Casse in the $1 million King's Plate. So he's there today, and he's got mounts in other stakes races. But Mike Smith, who ventured quietly out to Saratoga a couple of weeks ago on a weekday and won a stakes race there aboard a Safi Joseph Jr. horse, comes back, and he's back tonight at Charlestown, or I should say today at Charlestown. He's riding several horses, and they're for Safi Joseph Jr.
Right. One of those horses, the filly Spirit Wind in the pink ribbon tonight. He's been on the road for this filly a little bit. I got a feeling he likes her quite a bit because he's been following her around the country. So I'm guessing that's the main reason why he's at Charlestown tonight. He has a mount in the Charlestown Oaks too. 2 mounts, a $500,000 race, and what's the other one? $750. So that's a good reason to be on the road today.
Yeah. $1 million and $750. You got another $1 million race at Woodbine. I mean, and it's just a Friday, And of course, we got that great racing from Saratoga in upstate New York to the beach in Southern California at Del Mar. And lo and behold, the weather looks nice all over the place, John.
Yeah, it's cooling off a little bit out there in your area. It's beautiful out here by the beach. We've had great weather all summer long, so no complaints out here. We'll be fast and firm. And again, the 3 o'clock first post today on Friday.
Got to tell you, John, your Linda report is going hot with your suggested late pick 4. You hit that suggested late pick 4 again yesterday. I think it's the 3rd time in a week on your sheet here at the South Point, the Linda report, covering all the races, picks in all the races, a suggested late pick 4, and all the goodie information that includes the ship and winners, all on one sheet, one page right here, the Linda report, only here in Las Vegas. Only place you can get it is right here at the South Point Racebook, and it's free of charge, complimentary to the horse players because they love horse players here. That's for sure. And again, $158.85 for an $18 layout. You're going hot there, John.
Yeah, 9-1 works. And I tell you, the trip notes you're taking from the first time out, these horses were at Del Mar. Second time around, they've been paying off. So knock on wood, let's hope that keeps going.
Yeah, when that speed favoring track was there for the first 3 weeks, if you paid attention to some of the trips on the horses, now the track is starting to even out a little bit, although it still favors speed, but not as dominant as before. Now we can cash those horses coming back. And I know you guys, you and both Jerry Jackowitz and Jonathan and Richie are paying attention to that dynamic as well. Well, okay, you don't have anything at Saratoga either?
No, I did not do Saratoga today. Again, I've been busy with some things here at Del Mar, so just balancing all the media stuff and trying to do the handicapping as well.
All right, well, you got it, my man, because we know that you will have a full Linda report for Saratoga and Del Mar tomorrow with the multitude of those races. I can see where you're really busy, so we'll parlay your winner from yesterday, a nice 660 winner. Boy, Phil D'Amato and Antonio Fresu, are they connecting so far at Del Mar on turf races?
They've been pretty darn good. And, you see Phil using Antonio Fresu and Hector Barrios, and both of those guys ride the turf course here at Del Mar as well as anybody in the room. So he's got the right riders for the right course, and they're paying off.
All right, John, well, let's get another winner today from you. And certainly that Linda report will be a hot ticket today in the race book here, that's for sure. Where are we going with the horse?
Let's go to race number 4 today. Interesting horse, number 7, Kale's Angel. This is a colt that first time out had good speed and got a little bit tired, ended up splitting the field. But this has been trainer Peter Miller's pattern this year. He's been kind of giving his young horses a race. And second time out, they've been a lot better. Second time start today, blinkers off. good work since the race where he came off the pace and ran down another workmate. And I just think you're going to see a change in tactics today. So 5-1 on the morning line, a horse that should move forward, number 7, Kale's Angel, race number 4, Del Mar.
All right, this is a race for 2-year-old maidens at 5 furlongs on the turf. It is the anchor in the early pick 5, and certainly the start of the late pick 5. So it's a pivotal. Yes, it is not. It's the 4th race in the early pick 5 and the start of the late pick 5. But it's a pivotal race nevertheless. The 4th race on the turf for 2-year-old maidens at 5 furlongs. You like the 7, Kale's Angel, with Relu Gutierrez aboard. And that kid can get horses out of the gate and get them on the lead, can he?
He can. He's had a good meet here. His first full meet at Del Mar. He's winning races.
All right, so the 7 horse in the 4th race is your pick. And don't forget, the Linda Report available here right now at the South Point, free of charge. John, go back to work, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
No, we'll talk to you on the Race Day Extra show in a little while.
Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow for this show. But yes, you're right. You will be part of the team for the Race Day Extra, and I know you'll talk about the Travers and a few stakes races tomorrow.
I have some opinions there. Yes.
Okay, good tease there, John. We'll see you in a couple of minutes on the Extra show. That's for sure. Now let's get to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph.
Well, man, you're on a hot streak, 3 for 3. Last 3 days, you had winners on the show, and let's keep it going.
Well, it wasn't just that they were winners. We got, really phenomenal payoffs.
Yeah,
and that's really important.
Getting good payoffs with those winners are really something. And now, I know that you'll have a full Saratoga sheet tomorrow, and we'll definitely ask you about the Travers and any other the stakes races for tomorrow's show. But today we do have the personal ensign. Does it look like what it looks like on paper in this race?
I hate to say it. Let people look at the odds board, look at the power page, or look at the racing form, look at John's sheet, look at Richie's sheet, and make that decision. I don't. I thought this was a really complicated little race of 5 horses. So.
Because it's such
I do have a star on one horse.
Okay, good.
So there's my opinion, but you really have to make your own opinion and weigh it against the odds board.
Okay, we understand that. So we're going to get your sheets at jerryjspowerpage.com for both Saratoga and Del Mar. Today you have a star horse in the race. Jonathan came earlier on the show, and he didn't like either one of the 2 favorites. So your look, as well as his look, and says that this could be a little bit more complicated race than just the throwdown that we're talking about with the 2 favorites. And certainly it's going to be, with a short field like that, it's going to be a chess game between the jockeys, don't you think?
Well, I never think about that. I think that's
all right. Never mind.
Destroying our edge.
Okay.
What I think about is the horse in good form, and is the odds board satisfy the play? I don't care what the jockeys. What happens on the track, I can't predict, and you shouldn't predict, and they shouldn't predict. That's a big mistake.
Well, I think we have to predict.
It's all about value and probability of doing your best. So, like Jonathan says, this horse, and I think I agree with him, might not run his best race today because his form is a little off. So, but this other horse has good form. I'm not going to get away from betting a good form horse because I have some thought about how the jockeys are going to decide to ride the race.
Enough said, Jerry. Let's get to the picks. We got a minute.
Okay, let's go to Saratoga. Let's go to the 2nd. My original play was Punch the Clock. He's scratched. Number 3, Just Music, becomes a pop-out key almost if we get 2-1 or better for Linda Rice.
Okay.
Really in good shape. She's good at keeping them running. Let's take the 3 over the 7, 8, 9. Small reverses to break even.
All right.
But the 3.
Second race number 3, Just Music, the 3 over 7, 8, 9, and reverse. And we'll go to Del Mar now.
And we'll go to the 2nd race there as well.
Okay.
And in honor of the hats, Big Hat Willie really pops off to me for Ryan Hansen. He puts up Juan Hernandez. Juan's ridden this horse very, very well. I think he's got this horse ready to win, 3rd off the layoff. And I think he's a little faster than these, in great form. I love the 2. I'll take him down to maybe 3-2 or 8-5, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the 2 over the 1, 6, 7. Small reverses. I'm all about Big Hat Willie in the 2nd. at Del Mar.
Second race, the 2 horses, the key, 167 are the link-ups. And don't forget to get Jerry J's Power Page at jerryjspowerpage.com. I love the fact that we have, we have different looks at these. That's what handicapping is all about. And Jerry, you always come up with good stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm always going to tell you how I see it.
All right, we got the extra show coming up next. Get to YouTube, South Point Studios feed. Jerry, say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
I'm former Major League pitcher David Wells. Over the years, I've been helping veterans get the medical resources they need and help them overcome their challenges. They've sacrificed so much for our country, and it's our duty to take care of them when they come home. Join us in our mission to end veteran homelessness in America. Please go to t2t.org to donate now.
My name is Corporal David Marshall. I served with the 84th Infantry Division and fought in the Battle of the Bulge.
At 98 years old, he's a strong supporter of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. America should make a promise to all our heroes to take care of their families. If you're catastrophically injured, that we're going to take care of you.
They need the support. They need the help. They can't do it alone.
Go to t2t.org. Thank you, and God bless America.
The traditional $2 Pick Six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a Pick Six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool. Every Sunday night, we'll have either a Pick Six carryover or the 10,000 Pick Six promo, leading to gigantic total pools, like the $286,000 pool on May 19th and over $269,000 on June 8th. The traditional $2 Pick Six, a great bet, a great deal, always at Los Alamitos.
Back on the Race Day Las Vegas feed at the South Point Studios feed at the YouTube. Just go to YouTube and hit South Point Studios. You get our video feed and audio feed here. Hopefully everybody got those instructions at the beginning of the Race Day show, because this show is only seen and heard on YouTube at the South Point Streaming's network streaming, because we are not using it on any of our other simulcast outlets, not on the radio, not on the phone apps, except for the YouTube phone app. Nowhere on the podcast, nowhere on the Race Day Las Vegas websites. Only here at the South Point Studios feed on YouTube. This is the Race Day Las Vegas Travers Stakes Special. And I have two special people with us for the Travers Stakes today. The sportsbook director here at the South Point, who, by the way, is a horse player as well and a pretty darn good handicapper, Chris Andrews. Chris, good morning.
What's going on, Ralph? Pleasure to be here, my friend.
Not much, man. I know that this guy cracked open the race. He's got all the passports, everything ready. And of course, you know Vinny Miliulo. Good morning, Vinny.
Ralph, good to be with you. You and Chris and I've been talking about the Travers.
Oh, you guys
all
been
morning.
Yeah. The great thing about great races and great days of racing is it's really a social thing. You get together with a bunch of guys and go over and you have your particular way of handicapping. What's the most important thing to you, Chris, when you handicap?
Probably speed. I think closers tend to make this big impression on your brain when they come out of the clouds and all that. But usually speed holds up. I mean, I'm talking about American dirt racing primarily. On the turf, you have to be a little more versatile because speed does not usually hold up on the turf. So
the turf, you got to have a jockey that knows how to negotiate that.
Yeah, and I always love the California fairs because speed can just hold. And I always said
that's true.
You got like a $4,000 claimer. He hits the top of the lane. He forgot that he can't run, and he just keeps going.
That's right. He sure does. What about you, Vinny?
Well, Rafa, obviously current form of the horses, but jockeys too. The jockey trainer connection is something that I pay close attention to, as well as horses that have maybe what kind of performance they've got on the tracks too. Chris and I were talking too. If you look at the Sword Dancer, right, for instance, where the two. I think it's the Battle of Britain when you look at the top two in the race, the 1 and the 2, where those horses came here and also they got a race over the track, which I think is important too. So those are some of the things that I pay attention to.
Well, along with you guys, we're going to bring back our one of our anchor handicappers here on the Race Day Show, a product that you have here exclusively at the South Point only in this big gaming capital. There's only one place you can get the Linda Report. It's available here in the race book here at South Point every day, free of charge. This guy's been on a tear. His suggested late pick 4 on the sheet that you can get here at the book is hit 3 times in the last week.
Is that
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, you know what? We're going to leave. We're going to go to the race book.
Yeah, go get a Linda Report right now. John Lindo, good morning, my man, again.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? Look good seeing you, everybody.
Well, John, we're going to obviously put these guys on the spot for the Travers. So we're going to get right into the Travers. Now, they've got a ton of races, 14 races tomorrow at Saratoga. It'll get underway early. Get underway at 8:20 our time. So the book will be full by the time we're off the air here in the South Point. And a lot of great stakes races. But amongst them are 5 Grade 1 stakes races. But the centerpiece of it all is the Travers Stakes. And this race really is the Midsummer Derby. I know it's the second most important 3-year-old race in the year outside of the Kentucky Derby. And it's going to be a race that's really intriguing this year because we're going to have a filly in this race, Torpedo Anna. And you remember the horse well, Vinny, don't you?
I do. The last time I was with you, Ralph, I like that horse. I used that horse, as did you. I think you and I
were the only two handicappers that like this horse in the Kentucky Oaks. But nevertheless, that's the past. We spent the money. Now, she's going to be in the race against the boys. If she manages to pull it off, it's been 109 years since a filly has beaten the Colts in this Travers.
Yeah, Chris and I were talking about it last time, 1915, right? And I think, and the horse that won that race, I think, was by DQ, if I'm not mistaken. When I looked at the history of it,
history of it,
I've got to tell you, 7 fillies have won the race, but that was in like the first 45 years of the Travers. There hasn't been a filly in over 100 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, this race over the years, because it's so old, that it's been run at several different distances. But the current distance of the 1.25 miles, the record was by Arrogate. He ran at 159.36 in 2016. I remember that race vividly because Bob Baffert sends the horse out there. Horse goes off at like 7 to 9 to 1. Opens the gate and was gone. I mean, he went right to the lead, and whatever lead he had past the stands the first time, he extended by the time he got there the second time. Bob Baffert and the Travers paying something like $20. It was amazing.
That's funny. I remember that day Roxy gave me that horse, and I didn't bet him. I said, "Boy, I don't Baffert, in New York, and it's not the Belmont. He hasn't had a great record out there. And as a matter of fact, he's knocked the track a couple of times. I've heard." But not that day. Boy, he ran, what was the final time, like 157 or something?
159.3.
59. Yeah, I mean, he tore it up that day. I mean, it was an unbelievable
Your greatest Travers memory?
Oh, my greatest Travers memory. Oh, God, Ralph, you got me cold here. I don't know. Right now, my worst Travers memory is that Arrowgate
Well, because
race.
there's so many great races. There's so many great ones.
I'd have to think probably Easy Goer, I would say. I love that horse, and I know. Well, I mean, I had a ton of respect for Sunday Silence too. I think I hit every one of the Triple Crown races with the right way exact.
Oh, you're doing it the right way.
I did,
Yeah.
and but I had Easy Goer in that race, and he looked pretty good.
Vinny?
Oh, so many good memories, Ralph. I want to say 78 with
Affirmed and
Aladar, which was that great Triple Crown series, right? I think Affirmed won the track, but got DQ'd.
DQ'd, yeah.
For forcing Aladar along the rail, right? I mean, so because I thought that was such a great series. It was a year I moved out here too permanently. And but I remember that race vividly, and I remember all three of those Triple Crown races, which were very exciting. But that
well, if you remember correctly, Angel Cordero gave a lesson to Pinkai on, or Steve Cawthon. It was either Cawthon or Pinkai on Affirm because he set the trap for him to do that. And when Alidar came up the rail and he came over on him. It was a perfect cat and mouse thing. Angel Cordero was good at that stuff, that's for sure. John, yours?
The same two races, guys. That Alidar Affirmed Travers where Lafitte got taken down. Yeah, those guys were messing around with each other throughout that series. And like I say, Lafitte kind of fell for the trap. You ask him about it, he's still mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, he had the best horse, got disqualified. But the best mile and a quarter I ever saw at Saratoga, no doubt, was Arrogate. He was the other Bob Baffert that year.
Yeah.
I think Game Winner was the other horse that was favored. And you got 9 or 10 to 1 in Arrogate. And that set him on a roll where he went from there to win the Breeders' Cup Classic as a 3-year-old. Then he won the Pegasus at Gulfstream. Then he went to Dubai, won Maidan Cities. At Maidan City, won the Dubai World Cup. That 4-race win streak was unbelievable.
Well, I can tell you, as far as that Dubai World Cup, that was the most amazing race I ever saw a horse win. Because Arrogate almost was dropped at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, he got dead left, and you cannot win from last there at Maidan City. And he made a huge run to get up. I don't think he was ever the same horse after that when he came back from Saudi Arabia. But I tell you, that streak of 4 races, that was as good as you could possibly get a racehorse to be.
Well, we know there won't be any record as far as a Triple Crown winner winning the Travers this year because there just wasn't a Triple Crown winner. And by the way, the only Triple Crown winner that ever won the Triple Crown and the Travers was Whirlaway back in 1941. All right, let's get started with taking a look at the Travers Stakes. 8 go to the post in this one. And again, the morning line of favorite is Dornoch, which is a horse that many people kind of knocked earlier in the year, but this horse has really put together some great races so far. Matter of fact, I think he leads the 3-year-old division right now. He's 5-2 with Luis Saez. Fierceness is the in and out horse. Has brilliance, shows brilliance at times, and then other times you just can't get out of his way. He's 3-1 with John Velasquez aboard, and the filly Torpedo Anna, who will break from the rail, is also 3-1 with Brian Hernandez aboard. And all I got to say, gentlemen, is with Torpedo Anna breaking from the rail, she had a bit of a problem last time she broke from the starting gate. So Kenny McPeak was taking her to the starting gate several times to get her used to coming out, because coming out of the one post, I know it's a long run to the first turn because it's 1.25 miles on 1 1/8 circumference of a racetrack, but still, he's going to have to make a decision early, don't you think?
I think you're probably right, but he's also ridden this horse tremendously.
Yeah.
The first thing I looked at, of course, the record, and I checked her breeding. Boy, she's not very well bred, but sometimes the horses just outrun their breeding, and she's certainly one of them. So I think she's certainly one that you have to keep in there as a possibility.
No, I think so, Ralph. The thing is, she gets a little bit of a weight allowance too, right? Being a filly, right? A few pounds.
Yes, we're still not politically correct in horse racing. The fillies will get some weight off, so she gets she's in about 121. The colts are in 126.
There's politically correct, and then there's the facts, right? That's just what we're doing. There's the handicapping.
Yeah, there's politically correct, and then the racetrack.
That's right. But no, I think, but I do like. What the team's done in terms of trying to prep for that. So you have to certainly consider her. There's no question about it. You have to use her, in my opinion.
John, your thought about her rail post?
Well, it could be a problem for her because 2 of her last 5 starts she's broken poorly. Now she's been able to overcome it against fillies that she dominates, but this is a different group here, and there's some speed to her outside. You've got horses like Unmatched Wisdom in the post 3, Batten Down. His 2 wins have been wire to wire, and then on the far outside, Dornock and Fiercest are going to come out running. So if she doesn't break, now Brian Hernandez has to make a decision. I've got to go. And, she's never been a mile and a quarter. She's not really bred for it, but she's sure get it. And she's got all the talent in the world. But she's the biggest key as far as the gate. She's got to come out clean.
All right. Now it's time to you guys to do some handicapping and tell us who you're going to finally land on in the Travers. Chris?
Well, I mean, the 4 chalks, I think, are really strong. I mean, and, she being one of them. Mm-hmm. And actually, Vinny and I had this conversation. I think it's an American thing. We don't run fillies against the boys nearly enough. They do it much more often in Europe. And, with the weight allowance and all that, I think that really, I think a lot of trainers overlook that possibility. Now, McPeak, I love the guy. He's terrific. But the horse that I have a check mark next to is Batten Down.
Oh.
I think he can sneak in there for a piece. Now, I watched the last race where he ran third to Fierceness in Sierra Leone, which was a great race. Yeah. But if you look at the top of the stretch, he ran it. I'm not sure if he ran into trouble or whatever it was. Alvarado ducked him inside real quick. He looked like he was going to go.
Yeah.
Now, he had a nice move against 2 terrific horses. He petered out. Now, does that mean he's ready to go next time? I kind of think he is. I think this is an improving horse, and I don't know if he could beat any of those top 4. And even you look at Unmatched Wisdom, another pretty nice horse. I don't know if he could beat them, but I think he's going to he has a great chance to get a piece of the purse at 20-1. You're looking at some chalk. Otherwise, I think he can get in there for at least a piece of it.
Your plan is to put Batten Down in and around the favorites and maybe the exotics of exactas and trifectas. And if he hits the board there, you turn chicken feathers into chicken soup.
Yeah. Boy, excuse me. I got a bad cold. I'm going to put a win bet on him, too, just in case. But, yeah, I like him with, I don't know if I'm going to wheel him or something. I'm not sure exactly my strategy yet. But that's my horse that I'm keying on. I think he has a great shot to get in the money.
And Bill Mott's having a great year.
I love Billy Mott.
And he's a great trainer.
Love him.
And he don't go to the racetrack just to get a box seat.
No, I got to tell you, too, and you can catch a price with Billy Mott.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like. I like, listen, I'm not a chalk player. I'm just not.
No, me neither.
But he's the kind of guy you can catch a price with. And I think this is the kind of horse that, Billy can bring and get in the dough to a huge, huge race. And I think he has a good chance.
And he's got his main man aboard, Junior Alvarado.
Exactly. When he puts Alvarado on, and that horse is live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vinny.
I got to be honest. When Chrissy's got a horse at a price, when he's got a bit of a long shot, you want to pay attention to it. And I think that's something that certainly for me, I don't know if I can put him on top, but certainly using in my deeper exotics. I mean, look, none of us really like the chalk, but you can never ignore the chalk either, right? Especially when you look at this a race of this magnitude. Dornock, I tell you what, the thing about Dornock that's really impressive to me, had a great early run, right? I'd say a year ago, then faltered and was kind of given up on.
Yeah.
But what the horse has done, as I mentioned in my first part when we were talking about what I look for, current form is just phenomenal. So I think you've got to use a Dornock. Obviously, Fiercest. He's gonna go. Which Fiercest we're gonna get? We're not 100% sure.
Exactly.
You're gonna get something, right? And then of course Sierra Leone with that closing kick, who's kind of beaten me a few times because it didn't fire. Yeah. But for me, Dornock, but using Torpedo Anna as well. These are all exotics for me. But I think I'm going to have to put Dornock at the top. And then, with Chrissy's opinion, throwing in Batten Down, have that horse get a price.
I had another note that I was just looking at. Yeah. Batten Down is a full brother to Tacitus, who won the Suburban, won the Wood, won the Tampa Bay Derby, finished with $3.7 million in his bank account. So a full brother. Now we know Dornock's a full brother to Mage too. So we got two terrific horses. Well, I mean, Batten Down hasn't proven himself yet, but two full brothers to other terrific horses. And again, if you look at Tacitus, he got better as the distance as the distances went a little longer. So that's one more reason for me to I wish Tacitus to like batten down in this race. I think he's got a great chance to get a piece of this.
And Chris, we want to thank you so much for making the horse 10-1 down to 5.
As we speak.
John, what do you think?
Well, first of all, the horse I'm going to play against is number 8, Fierceness, just by trainer intent. This is a horse that won the Jim Dandy last time. Now, after that race, Todd Pletcher would not commit to running in the Travers. The only reason he's in here is because the stablemate Mindframe had to be sent out and take a break. Yeah. So I think they're calling an audible and running this horse here, and you see his pattern, good, bad, good, bad. This is kind of quick back for him, and I think he'll probably regress again. So I'm going to take a stand against him. And the horse I am going to pick, I had no intention of picking this horse today, Ralph, none at all. But the way the race comes up, I think it sets up for number 2, Sierra Leone. There's going to be pace, and I think this race will be fast all the way throughout, whether Dornoch makes the lead or presses the pace of Fierceness. Somewhere in the middle, you're probably going to get the filly making a middle move. I think Unmatched Wisdom will come out, and Batten Down will make some kind of move middle in the race. I don't think there's going to be any breathers here. And I just think Flavien Prat will sit back in the back, watch all the action, and he'll make the last run. Now, when he runs, a second or third again, I'll probably hate myself Saturday night. But the race sets up for him. You get a fair price. I think he's 7-2 on the program after being a favorite so many times. This is the time I'm going to take the shot. Flavien Prat's ridden him a couple times. He's a quirky horse, and he ought to know him by now. So one final time, let's take the shot here with Sierra Leone.
Now we have horses like Torpedo Anna, Sierra Leone, Dornoch, Fierceness, etc., and even Batten Down. But sometimes it's you get to thinking, what is this morning line maker thinking? In this race, you got a horse called Unmatched Wisdom at 8-1. I know Irad Ortiz Jr. is riding it, but with all of the other big named horses in the race, what do you think about Unmatched Wisdom at such a low morning line?
I think every single one of these horses deserves to be in the Travers. It's a good race top to bottom. He has to have some type of puncher's chance. Flavien Prat had his choice to ride Unmatched Wisdom or Sierra Leone. He chooses Sierra Leone. But what has Unmatched Wisdom done wrong? He's undefeated. He's gotten 2 mile-and-eighth wins under his belt. He's tactical. He doesn't have to have the lead, but he'll be close. And, that guy Ortiz, he's okay. He knows what he's doing out there. So he's not the worst 8-1 shot in the world, not at all.
All right, and we had an allotment of 15 to 20 minutes on the show. We're at 21 now, but so I do want to ask you guys though, because you did a lot of work there. So there are some other races, big stakes races on the card at Saratoga, and any of the races that really pique your interest that you might want to talk about in maybe the last 2 minutes of the show. Chris?
Well, I had one with my 2 Italian friends here in the 12th. Otherwise, I was looking at a lot of chalk. Mm-hmm. But in the 12th, I liked Vetriano, number 4. And again, a little story. He was Chad Brown's horse. They opened him at Saratoga last year, so a year ago. Something happened in that race, but still he was not quite the odds-on favorite. Was he $1.10 to $1? Mm-hmm. Something happened. They take him away for 11 months, it looks like, 10, 11 months. Mm-hmm. Comes back out, wins a maiden, again, as a chalk. And then an allowance race, again, parks. So I think this is a horse that has a lot of talent. It's a pretty nice race. But at 20-1, again, I think he's worth a shot.
So 20-1, there's a man that's singing my number right there. 20-1. Of course, he'll have to run down. He'll have to hold off. I think Bookham Dano because he's a tough horse. But
it's a hell of a race. It's a hell of a race. Yeah. But Ralph, I love 7 furlong races. I think that's a real great test of because it's just that long sprint.
And they never get a rest.
No, I think a 7 furlong race is a good test.
Vinny?
Ralph, I'm going to go to the 11th, the Forgo, and I'm looking at the 4-horse, Baby Yoda, with Tyler Gaffalione in the irons. Some nice work and success, not only at the distance, but at Saratoga. 7 races, 4 wins. Look, and again, at the distance there, so a little bit of a fair price, not quite the double digits that Chrissy's illustrated, but 8-1, why not?
All right. Well, you guys, I want to thank you so much for coming over. Everybody thinks of you guys as the sports guys, and you run a hell of a sports book here, the best sports book, I believe, maybe in the country. No doubt about it. And
thank you. I think you're right.
And I know that, Chris, I know that you guys are so busy now getting ready for college football, NFL, and all the other stuff that's going on at this time of the year. When we get into the fall, it really is something when you start mixing in basketball with college and pros too. I know you guys spend very little time sleeping, that's for sure. But I know one fact for sure as well. You guys are you love to play the horses too.
Well, there's things, and we've said this many times. Back at Chris's office, where we're at, we've got all the big monitors. We're watching every game, but there's always Turner Classic on one monitor, and we're always watching the horses as well. So that's not going to change, right, buddy?
Ralph, I told my wife a long time ago, if I had the money to do it, I'd love to either park myself at maybe right outside of Santa Anita, right outside of Saratoga, and just bet the horses every day and just have a blast. And then I guess I can move to Belmont.
See, John Lindo, they've got they're dreaming of a life that you have. You handicap there, and you go to the races every day as well, right at the track.
You're our hero, John.
We'd love to be John Lindo in the next life.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for these guys. They've had a pretty good run out there, and they've got a lot more stories to tell than I can. We can't do it on the air, but the best part is all those stories are true.
Yeah, it's a great. I just enjoy these type of shows immensely. I want to thank you guys. And, of course, John, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning. But I do want to leave you with this, John, that back in 1921, the Travers Stakes was known as the betting scandal race. And I think Mr. Muliolo there has got a little thought about how that thing all went down.
That was not that it had any relatives involved or anything like that, Ralph. So let me
go ahead.
But a gentleman by the name of Arnold Rothstein, who made headlines 2 years before in Chicago in the World Series between the White Sox and the Reds, he seemed to obtain some information about a horse.
Maybe even inside information.
Well, I listen. Like I said, I'm just going by history. But he had some information about a horse that was going to go off at I believe it was going to be the betting favorite. That mysteriously or suddenly got scratched.
It was a filly named Pruderi, I think it was Pruderi.
And the horse got scratched, and lo and behold, the money shifted quite significantly to the horse that he wound up on, and I cleaned up for about
$150,000. Yeah, Rothstein after
with bookies, no OT, no was no.
The bookies.
There was no.
No parimutuel wagering
no
at that time.
No.
It was amazing too. He went about $150,000. Now, John, in those days you could buy a whole neighborhood of houses at $150,000. How he ever got that much money down with bookmakers, I don't know, but he did.
And it's amazing how the horse got sick after that, right? It's just funny how those things happen sometimes.
Yeah. Anyhow. There won't be any of those scandals because there's plenty of parimutuel wagering and plenty of pools to get into for tomorrow at Saratoga. That's for sure. Hey, guys, we expect you to be back for at least Breeders' Cup for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Absolutely, Ron. Right. Thank you.
We have to get on out of here because Sports by the Book is coming up at 9 o'clock. I want to remind everybody out there, too, and while you guys are here, Sports by the Book show, that it's going to start earlier come football season. As a matter of fact, it's going to start earlier tomorrow. We're going to get off a couple of minutes early on our show because they're going to get right on the air at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with Sports by the Book. They're going to be covering all of the opening action for college football and, of course, extensively for the NFL. And Alex and Jeff do a great job.
They're good. Very good. Good young talent.
And we're glad to have you aboard, too, Ralph. You brought a lot of eyes and ears with you, and we appreciate that.
Well, and we want to make sure that the people stay aboard. It's only a half an hour away now. You can come and watch Sports by the Book. You watch it once, and you'll be addicted to it, that's for sure. And the other shows. And there's some, I bet you there's some really neat shows down the line that you guys got in your mind behind it that we're working on here.
We're working on it.
At the South Point Network, that's for sure. All right, we're going to wrap it up, and we want to remind everybody, Race Day comes back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We'll be talking about the Travers and all that good stuff. A lot of great racing today. Charlestown has the $1 million Charlestown Classic. You've got the $1 million Kings Plate out at Woodbine, and, of course, Del Mar and Saratoga. Morning, noon, and night racing here, and sports as well. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Vinny. And, of course, John, always thank you.
See you soon, John.
For most of all, we want to...
You guys, see you soon.
most of all, we want to thank all the folks out there that watched and listened. Have a great race day.